tell us a little bit about what the assignment was, how you learned about it, and what your reaction was to that first day.
All right, so first off, I think we started by watching a video on TED Talks by Professor McGonigal, and she talked about how she works a lot with creating video games that are not only fun to play, but they have a positive impact on the people who play them. She does a lot of things with helping people be more environmentally friendly and stuff like that. So our project was about how we can make a game in a program called Alice, where our program would also help benefit humanity. So there was a whole bunch of projects from learning to eat healthy, and my personal project was helping people to drive safer by obeying road signs and staying on the road and not running people over. So it was a good time. Initially, when I heard about the project, I was not sure how that was going to work because not in a lot of the games I play benefit humanity. I play more of like Call of Duty, Legend of Zelda, stuff like that. So I was a little bit skeptical, but then once I started to get into it, it got a lot more fun, and you got a lot out of what you put into it. So a lot of the people who played my game, they said that it was a lot of fun, and some people said that like it was a little bit difficult, or they didn't know this rule or that rule for the road, especially about the roundabout that I included in my game. But I think it was a really good experience overall. A lot of the feedback I got that was helpful was what people thought was good about the game. Some people had problems with steering, other people really liked it. And I also found that I suppose that my target audience would be people who are just starting to learn how to drive, so maybe 15, 16, 17, around there. And most of those people, they had an easier time steering it than maybe the older demographic that I tried, and that just might be attributed to maybe kids more in high school are more interested in playing video games, so they were more able to easily navigate the car with just arrow keys. So I thought that was interesting, but yeah, I think it was a really good experience, and it was a lot of fun playing everyone else's game too.
What made you choose driving?
Well, personally, I am when I started driving, I was very, very scared because I was always afraid that I was going to be doing it wrong, or I remember the first time that I got in a car, I drove on the left side of the road, not the right side of the road. So that was kind of scary. But I also, my parents always really want me to be safe, and you always hear about these really sad stories about people who were not obeying the laws and they got in trouble, or they got into a car accident. So if I could do something that's fun to play and it also has an educational value that, I mean, maybe it'll help people remember, oh, I have to stop at the stop sign so I don't run the pedestrians over, or I have to take the turn a little bit more slowly, then, and if that helps someone out, then, I mean, that would be great.
And what did you find the most challenging in the project?
I think initially thinking of what I wanted to do was kind of challenging, and then a personal challenge just for the coding was I had to figure out a way to make the car recognize if it was too far off the road. So it was a lot of trial and error figuring out how exactly it was to indicate like when it was so far off these different pieces of road, and it eventually ended up being like 15 different road segments. So I couldn't just say, like the if statement just got too complicated. So a little bit of problem solving was involved, but eventually I got it to work just by adding some objects off to the side and saying that if the car were too close to one of those objects, then the game would end.
And were those things that you just described, were those something that you had learned in the class already?
Yeah, so I remember in one of the chapters we talked about having the objects, measuring the distance between two objects and saying whether a collision occurred or not. So I had to apply that knowledge, and I think that everything that I put into my project, it was definitely a project that we did during class, or maybe it was homework, or maybe it was just something we did during the time that we met together.
Okay. Do you have anything else?